So first off, I want to appreciate you putting in your, um, you know, wanting to actually apply to be a San Andreas State Police. So I appreciate that a lot. So basically, how I'm going to start this off is I'm going to introduce ourselves, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself, who I am, and what I am, and pretty much go from there. So first off, my name is John Campbell. Okay, I am a sergeant within the San Andreas State Police. I am also the assistant field training officer for all of the training and stuff that we do within the department. My primary goal is basically make sure that the training program is tip-top shape, working alongside Sergeant Gray, and making sure that we're getting these cadets in here trained as best as possible. A little bit about myself. I'm an old man. I do old man things. Um, you know, I like the Backstreet Boys. You'll hear that a lot. Um, they're not called the Backstreet Boys no more. You can call them the Friend Street Boys. There's some controversy there, but I'm that guy. I like to chill. I like to relax. I like to sing. I like to do all that stuff. I like to do whatever I can to make a good experience for everybody. So that's a little bit about me. To my left, this is going to be Corporal Holt, and I'll let him take the field.
Yep, Corporal Holt. I'm one of the corporals here with the SASP. I'm also the assistant lead for the moto team we have for SASP. I believe I may have met you in a previous city a while back. You know,
Is
so
that is that
uh,
Lathan Wolf by any chance?
it is indeed.
Oh yeah, I remember you. You
Yep,
were the one that fucking told me what I know in the other city.
yep, yeah.
Nice to meet you
So
again, dude.
yeah, you too, man. Yeah, that's all it really is for me. I'm kind of laid back and relaxed. Do what I have to do. But other than that, I'll let y'all go ahead and get started with this interview.
Appreciate it.
All right, Mr. Ghost. So basically, we just have a series of questions that we're going to ask you, and then we will move into some scenario questions, and then towards the end, we're going to get into some bonus questions, just some extra things to, kind of see your opinion and stuff. So let's go ahead and get her started. So the first question is, um, basically, I want to know what your time zone is, what your expected availability is, and how many hours you think you could put in a week.
So my time zone is CEST, Central European Standard Time. My availability is mostly like evenings and afternoons. Just waiting on my new work schedule in the head. Um, and how many hours I could put in a week? I could probably put in about 8 plus for sure. Just depends on how work goes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. So, tell me a little bit about yourself. It can be anything you want to tell me. It could be, what kind of person you are. It could just tell me some of your hobbies, things you like, anything you want to tell me.
So as you know, my name is Levi. I like, or I love cars and bikes mostly. I love customizing them. Um, as a type of person, I'd say I'm a welcoming person, and like I love to make new friends, and just to get around here and there, and like form new friendships and learn new stuff.
Okay. Do you have any family members in the city? Do you have anybody that's closely in the law enforcement at the moment?
Negative. Apart from some old faces that I might have seen in my previous city, that's about it.
Okay, awesome. So here's something I want to know. So I want to figure out how you handle basically like opposite opinions and personalities and stuff. So, like let's use this as an example. Let's say I think that Twinkies are the best snack in the world, and you're like, no, okay. Swiss rolls are the best snack in the world, and we just start going back and forth saying, hey, that's wrong. How do you handle that situation?
Um, I mean, if I knew what both those things are, I would probably try and bring up a solid argument, but sadly I don't. But if there's a snack you say that's the best, and I have a snack that I say it's the best, I mean, I'll say my side and I'll hear your side, but at the end of the day, it's all personal preference. So, like, you can't argue about that.
So you wouldn't get upset that I said that?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay. Awesome. What are some of your personal strengths and what are some of your weaknesses?
Um, strengths and weaknesses. My strengths, I'd say, are I don't give up too easily, and I have a good eye for detail and investigating. Like when it comes to those stuff, I have a good eye for them. So I think those are my strengths and like weaknesses. Uh, I get distracted sometimes, and I just take a little bit to refocus, I guess.
Okay. What excites you about wanting to be a police officer? Like, you see that job and you see that in the distance, you're like, wow, I want to do that job. What excites you so much about that?
I mean, I've been a police officer in other states and cities, so it's always like been a thing that I wanted to do. Like I've had my father before me be a police officer before he died in the line of duty, so just, wanted to follow in his footsteps. It's always been a thing since I was a child, so
Okay. Yeah, I'm about the same way, generation and generation of police officers in my family. Let's see. What sort of an officer do you think that you're going to be? Like, let's see, I gave you the job right here today. Okay, you get out on the road, you start patrolling. How are you going to perceive yourself as an officer?
I'd obviously need to learn and see how this PD operates here, but I'd say probably just be the quiet officer and like learn and see what other officers do and try to replicate it and do the best way I could.
So basically, you're going to kind of just sit back a little bit and just kind of see how the feeling is within the department, and then, if you feel like you can, get in there a little bit more and be a little bit more outspoken, more comfortable, that you'll be a little bit more out of your shell. Pretty much, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I
Okay.
just need to kind of get used to the feel of this department and see how you guys operate, and then I'll be confident enough to, get out of my shell and do my thing.
I got you. Okay. So let's say you are hired and you're just a regular trooper. Okay. Myself, as a sergeant, I tell you to do something that is completely against protocol, policy, all that sorts. How do you handle that situation?
First I would double check with you to see if that's actually what you want me to do, and if it is, I will probably go over your head and talk to your supervisor and see how to go about that situation from there, and look see what they tell me what to do and how to proceed.
Okay. Are you familiar with like deadly force? What that means?
Yes.
Okay. So, when do you think is the correct, appropriate time to use deadly force?
The appropriate time to use deadly force is when your life, another officer's life, or a civilian's life is in immediate danger. Meaning there's a criminal, so to say, that has a weapon out and he pointed it at you or at a civilian, an officer, whatever. That's where I'd say you can use it.
Okay. where do you think you see yourself in 6 months? Like, I hired you today, 6 months goes by. Is there anything that you want to look forward to in the department? Is there anything like goals, opportunities, and stuff that you want to seek?
I mean, I hope to be a SWAT operator or a detective. Obviously, I still need to see how those two divisions operate here, and whatever one I like best, I'll try to go for.
Okay. All right. So those are just the regular questions. We're done with those. I'm going to go ahead and move into some scenario questions. Just answer to your best ability. I know you said you had some past experience, so hopefully, you'll be able to answer, pretty much to a T. But if you don't 100% know, just try to guess the best you can. Okay. So let's say that you are off duty. Okay, you're not on the clock, and you're going to the 24/7. Okay, you go into the 24/7, you walk right in the door and you say, hey, what's up? You're talking to the cashier, and then you make your way to the other side of the store, and then all of a sudden you just hear crash. People kick the door open, they're running in with class 2, bang, 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 bang. They're in there to cause a harm. You just see the guy pull up to the cashier, he's got the AK-47 aiming right to their head. What's the next step? What are you doing?
If I'm on the other side of the store and I'm hidden and the criminals didn't see me, I would first try my best to call it in. Like 911, or call 911 and try and get officers down there. If they do see me, I'll just act calm, I'll do as they say, and hopefully try to get some sort of thing that these criminals have on them to possibly ID them. Maybe they have a tattoo exposed, maybe their face is exposed, whatever. Try to get some sort of thing to ID them, and just ultimately try and get them to be calm and see through for their demands, and proceed from there. And if the police do show up on time to uh, surround the area, I could try to help from the inside, but obviously these guys are armed, so it will be a little bit difficult for me to do that, and just ultimately just proceed from there and like make sure that these guys are as calm as possible and they're not going to do something stupid.
Okay. All right. So let's go on to the next one. So let's say, the two corporals to my left, you got Hayes and you have Holt. Let's say that you just got into a scene and you were collecting evidence and there was a firearm, really nice looking gold firearm. And you see these two working together and they start taking some of those items and they put them inside their vehicle. Okay, so they're stashing evidence inside their vehicle. What is your next step, and how do you think you would handle that if you saw the entire thing?
These two as an officer? Or...
Mm-hmm. These supervisors to my left.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
if
saw it.
I see them grabbing evidence and putting them into their own vehicles, I would try and get footage of them doing that, and if I do get footage, I will report it to a higher up, or I'm not sure if you guys have an internal affairs division here. I'll send it over to them and try and let them handle and like open a investigation on them or whatever. And if I don't get footage, I'll try to tail them, see where they go, and possibly hide that evidence, and just gather more footage and send it over to the higher ups.
Okay. This will be the last scenario question. So you're driving along, you're by yourself or you got a partner with you, it doesn't matter. And you just get a mountain of calls for shots over at the Vanilla Unicorn, okay? And you pull up and you see the Vagos messing with the Ballas. They're fighting like crazy. You got 6 people on 6 people. You got 3 shooting from the inside of the building. You got 2 on the roof. You got multiples in the alleyways, and it's just you two at the moment, okay? And you're visually seeing this. You know, shots fired, everything rolling around. What are you doing?
If it's strictly gang on gang beef, I will try and set up a perimeter and wait for backup. If backup is not available, I would try to wait out the situation, because obviously if it's 6-on-6 gang members and it's just 2 officers, it's not gonna end up well. On the other hand, if there are civilians present, I would probably try and get them out of that scene with my partner. I would coordinate with them, and if that's not possible, I would probably drive in there and shield the civilians with my car, and have like all of us sitting behind it until the situation like calms down between the two gangs. And if backup does arrive, then we could what's the word? We could diffuse the situation from there, and like we could detain all of them and start questioning them and see what was the cause of that altercation.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, well, that is the scenario questions. I'm going to go ahead and go into the bonus questions. There's a couple that I want to ask. Just answer your best ability on what you think, okay? So, the first question. It's a hard question, okay? Just think real hard. What is your favorite snack?
Thing is, I don't know, like, my favorite snack. You guys probably won't know about it, just because I don't think you guys are European.
I've spent some time in Europe. I might know what you're talking about.
My favorite snack would probably be it's hard, you know.
Like, if you had to have a go-to at any point in time, like, you could have it in your pantry, you'd walk down there and get it at any time you were hungry, what would it be?
Oh, something I always have in stock as a Snicker bar, to be honest.
Okay, we all know what Snickers are. You know, you're not you when you're hungry. It's a pretty good snack. All right, next question. And I want to laugh, okay? I want to make sure I am on the ground screaming, crying, laughing. I want you to tell me a joke.
Oh my god, you found my weakness?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Gotta think hard about this.
I need a good joke. If we need to go back to it, we can go back to it.
Yeah, we might have to.
Okay, yeah, we go to the next one. What is your favorite color?
Favorite color is gonna be red.
Red? Okay. All right, now this next one. This is where we start judging. Does pineapple go on pizza?
No. Please don't say
Okay.
that to me.
Okay. See, I've never had it. Personally, there are people that do use it, which I'm not judging. I'm not, do what you want. It's your life, but I don't think it goes on pizza. It doesn't make any sense.
It should never go on pizza. I'm
I'm
Italian,
a-
so.
I'm a pepperoni, ham, and hamburger guy. I like meat on my pizza. Royal Feast is where it's at.
Please do that. I would rather have meat on a pizza than pineapple, please.
All right, I'm gonna ask you one question, and then we'll go back to the joke. I want you to finish these lyrics. Are you a music guy? Do you like listening to music?
It depends what type.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you've heard this song before, and I want you to give the next lyric. Okay. What does the fox say? Come on.
Ooh, I remember that. I forgot what they say about.
Yeah, I'll do the next one. Ring ding 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 ding. Ring ding 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 ding. What's the fox say? What's the next part?
remember the song?
All right, we'll skip that. All right. It was a good try though, but I didn't get the answer I wanted. That's okay. It's all right. If you want to go ahead and tell me a joke, remember I want to be on the ground crying and laughing, like I better fall over. If it helps, I'll give you one to start out with. Why doesn't a chicken wear pants?
Why?
Because his pecker's on his head. Yeah, that's a joke. Come on, I know there's a joke in there. Come on.
I'm trying to translate this in my mind right now from my language to English. You could bear with me for a second.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I highly doubt this will make you laugh, but this is the only one ever.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
Why does it take pirates a long time to learn the alphabet?
Why?
Because they can spend years at sea.
Ah, I like that one. That one was funny. I fell over. Okay, so we're good. All right, brother, listen. Okay, this is what's going to happen, okay? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to forward this recording up to our emails, and basically it's going to give the opportunity for everybody, command team supervision, they're going to be able to look at the interview and be able to vote whether or not they want to bring you on. It is not a, command makes the full decision. No, we vote on it as a team, so it's a team decision. So are there any questions that you want to ask us before we end the interview? It can be about anything. The department, it can be about the three of us, whatever you want to know. Just don't ask about my search history and my internet.
I don't think I have any questions at the moment. I just appreciate you guys for your time.
Yeah, and we appreciate, you actually having the interest in actually wanting to apply. So what's going to happen is it could take a couple hours, it could take 24 hours, 48 hours. It just depends how long it takes everybody to put their vote in, but it shouldn't take too long. So you will hear back from us for a denial or an approval regardless, but just give us a couple days. And if you have any questions in between that, just give us a holler, okay?
I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Well, it was nice to meet you, and I appreciate the interest. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hey, you taking a nap? Just sleeping under the chair?